Don't blink, it's your blank. Welcome to the show. Doing well because I'm having a wonderful day on this freaking 15th of August, 2025. Today we're continuously kissing asses with Final Fantasy 2. I feel like the reason why, because why I say continuously, we did a video about it yesterday and how good it was. I feel like the reason why we're doing a couple of videos on Final Fantasy 2 is because so it's kind of complex. And I really want to take the time to give it up. Yesterday we were stressed because I had to do Lost, and I had to watch Lost because it was leaving the platform today. By the way, today we're going to be playing Final Fantasy 2, but we're going to be watching the show Prison Break in the background. Prison Break, which sits at 109 episodes. Pretty good. That being said, are you still uploading? You're still uploading? Well, yeah. Final Fantasy 2, the reason why it was so important to me to be honest about it is I always loved RPG. Okay? Now, the most important years of my life were actually 2012, 2013. 2012 and 2013 were super important to me because I came in, I didn't have a job, I was broke, we didn't have Wi-Fi, I didn't have cable, so we were gaming. We were gaming and gaming and gaming and gaming and gaming and gaming and gaming. What were we gaming at? We were gaming at emulators, so GBA games, GBC games. The amount of Pokemon, sound like my mom, I love you mom, Pokemon game that we have is insane. And then I gave up on RPGs. All of them felt the same. Okay, so first of all, this is still the Final Fantasy 2 videos. Okay? This is still a Final Fantasy 2 videos. The pleasure of an RPG is what? The pleasure of an RPG is actually quite simple. You start battling off the weakest possible enemies. And then when you fight them off, you realize that, oh my god, yo soy el increíble. I am so strong that I can beat everything and anything, right? So you start fighting them. And at the end, you're literally battling gods, right? That was the pleasure of an RPG. We played RPG for almost a solid, I'll be honest, the game that I remember playing that were not RPG, I think I played Third Anniversary on PSP. We played a lot of Persona, which was great. We played Persona 3. This is how much I was enjoying RPG. We played Persona 3 on an emulator for over 100 hours. And I didn't even beat it. Yeah. And back in the days, you could do like, on an emulator, you could speed up the thing. So Persona 5 RPG, I would speed them up 4 or 5 times. Pokemon from Pokemon fan games, I would play them at 8 times the speed. It was the golden age of gaming for me. But we played too many RPG. So when I came back to RPG, I came back to the classics. In my opinion, and again you can agree to disagree, the classic for RPG is Final Fantasy and Dragon Quest. Okay? However, there's a problem with that. Final Fantasy, which is the outmost. Okay, so you guys remember what I said? We had a GBC emulator, a GBA emulator, and we had a PSP emulator. We didn't have Nintendo DS. Dragon Quest, we had Dragon Quest Warrior. I had Dragon Quest 1, 2, and 3 on the Game Boy Color. Which is great. Final Fantasy, I had the 1, the 2, the 4, the 5, and the 6. She wasn't there. Okay? I love the 4. I love the 5th. I didn't like the 6th. My reasons for not liking the 6 are quite simple. The reason for not liking the 6 is because you have to create teams For example, you have to defend something. You have to defend a place, and you need 3 teams, right? There's secret characters that you could get, and if you get those secret characters, you could be like, yo, I have a good time. If I didn't get them, I didn't have a good time. My favorite was the fort, which was an amazing story, and the fort, which is not even flawless. The fort, you change teams so often, but the story is amazing. The third, I didn't play it. The first and the second one, I didn't like them. I did not like them. So I kept playing. It is a true story. I kept playing Final Fantasy 4 and 5 over and over and over again. Yeah, it's insane. It's crazy because this is how short life is. We bought a phone 2 days ago. That phone is a unique. I break my phone. The Sony Xperia 5, we break it. I'm a dumbass. We break it. And my apologies. If you ask me, I still love that phone. That phone was so good. I don't have the cash because I don't have, so I go to the store. The guy, listen, I'm broke, bro. What phone do you have for cheap? And the guy is a nice guy. See, this is another story, but I always had good relationship with sellers because I believe in respect. I does my due diligence of knowing if a seller will make a what should we call it? A commission on a sell. If the seller could have commission, I'll come often. I'll see the same guy. That guy was really nice. So I go in and I'm like, please help me out, bro. And he said, this is why we do videos when the sun rises. You think it's because of the beautiful sunrise? Yes. It's for no noise. And he gave me this, and I swear to God, he gave me this UMD for $80. It's a freaking phone. And it works well. It works really well. But it doesn't have the same power. So this is a true story too. The UMD in itself, it's so bad. It doesn't play most mobile games. By the way, not to be a dick, but this was 2012, 13. There was not a lot of good mobile games in that period of time. There's not a lot of them. Most of them were shitty. So we played the emulator. Yeah. GBC and GBA was working well. PSP wasn't working, which is normal because it was an $80 phone. Which is nuts. By the way, we paid the Galaxy Samsung S24 Plus Ultra for $3,000. I possibly paid $400 for the Sony Xperia 5. It was a great phone. See, so here's the thing with Sony Xperia 5. It was a gaming phone, but I wasn't a content creator, and even then, let's push the envelope. Okay, let's really push the envelope. The Sony Xperia 5 could have been a great streaming phone without the camera. I have 3 phones right now. I have the Samsung S24 Plus being repaired. I have this one and I have this one, which is great. So that's pretty much it. Going back to Final Fantasy 2. I love Final Fantasy. I love it. My very first, and this is a true story, my very first RPG was Pokemon Silver. However, it wasn't my first RPG. My first RPG was possibly Final Fantasy 4 on GBA. Why am I saying that Pokemon was an RPG? Pokemon is an RPG. But it's how you perceive the game. I didn't perceive Pokemon as an RPG. I was young. I was 8, 9 years old. I didn't perceive Pokemon as an RPG. I didn't understand what an RPG was, you know? So, Fantasy is very important to me. Between the 4th and the 5th, and if I'm being completely honest, the 5th was good, but not as good as the 4th. The 4th was the best. The 4th we played 7, 8 times. 7, 8 times, yeah. So the fact that we didn't have the second one, kind of shitty. Now, here's the truth. Okay, there's a possibility that we're playing the pixel remaster video uh, version. So there is a possibility that this is the reason why it's so good. I'm also more mature. I'm also way older. 11 years older. 11 years is a third of my life. Literally. Literally. Um, so yeah, there is this part of me that feels that maturity has a lot to do as to why I love this game. Why am I liking Final Fantasy 2 so much? Well, first of all, the story isn't as bad as I remember. I don't like the fact that we have three characters. However, the game is set up for three characters. The game is set up for you to have like, yo, we know that you have three characters. We'll put the game as if you had three characters. We just finished the Minwu saga, so we're gonna have Joseph, if I remember correctly. And after Joseph, we could possibly gonna have Leon. And then I don't know if Leon's gonna be with us for a while, because I never beat Joseph part. I remember Joseph part being very sad. I was playing. This is a true. I don't remember if it was Christmas or New Year, but I remember playing Final Fantasy 2 on emulator. And I remember watching the Joseph part, just sad. It's crazy how a game made me so sad, for example, because I don't know the story. Yesterday we saw the part where the Dreadnought destroys city. I'm like, holy shit, this is so shitty, you know? And it was nice, it was nice. The story is good. The story is really good, to be honest. The character, it's complex. Because I like Firion. But I don't like Firion because of Final Fantasy 2. I like Firion because of Dissidia. I thought Firion was cool. I thought Firion was freaking cool. You know? And in Final Fantasy 1, the name of the characters are Words of Light. They don't even have a name. I mean, it makes sense, you know? So yeah. Is he cooler than Cloud? No. Is he cooler than Cecile? No. But he's cool. Now what I love with the game, what I absolutely love with the game is how strong it can get. Because basically you can use a weapon. The fact that you have to use skills, the fact that you have to buy a skill, and the fact that you have to build it. For example, I wasn't sure how it works. I took a risk. We did Cure. Cure evolved into Cure 2, Cure 3, Cure 4, Cure 5. I mean, that's insane. Not that you can build those spells. If you don't build them, it doesn't work. For example, we got Protect 2, Protect 3, which is insane. You have to build them, which I really like. Your efficiency with a weapon. My apologies. The way I thought was, okay, well, you level up your proficiency with the weapon. No, that's not it. That's not true. The way it works is you get better with a weapon, and you get better, 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 until you can't get better with the weapon. So you change weapon, and then you're also evolving that weapon. So you're changing your whole stats, which means that you can have three characters that are completely based on the weapon that you use. So the plan was to have Maria, and the character, be a spell. The second one was to have, for the main character, be a DPS. The third one was to have Guy, which was a whatchamacallit? I don't know. You don't say. I don't know. But to have him as a tank. That was the plan. Did it work? No. So gonna try? Yes. So yeah. Final Fantasy, what a great game. What a great game. And it's kind of like a good thing because the game was shitty and you were wrong. But it's good you were wrong because now you can enjoy a game that you didn't think you were gonna enjoy. You want to know something else? You want to know a confession? I was excited to play Final Fantasy 1, the remix. I was excited to play the second one. I was excited to play the third one, the fourth one, the fifth one, and the sixth one. I almost skipped the first and the second. But I'm glad I played them. I'm having fun. I'd have missed out. Plus, I paid for the game. It was expensive. The 6 game were $100. $100. Shit.